so one of the really cool things you can do in 3D CAD is you can create a loft that terminates at a single point. So let's say, for example, I start out with a rectangle or a square here on the top plane. Now I'm going to create a copy of the top plane, and I'm going to bring that up here like so. And then I'm going to create a single point on this new sketch plane. So begin a sketch here, click the point command, drop in a single point here. Well, now I can launch the solid loft command, and I can create a loft that goes from that rectangle to that point, leaving me with this kind of pyramid shape here. And this is something really cool. And if you keep your eyes peeled, if you're pretty sharp, you'll be able to see our contestants today using this functionality in SolidWorks. But this works in a lot of different CAD systems. So give it a try in your CAD system. See if it works. Let me know down below in the comments what you discover. And while you're down there in the comments, be sure to let us know what you think about today's CAD versus CAD battle. And if you want some more of these really fun 2D to 3D CAD challenges, be sure to visit us at tootalltoby.com. What the models are going to be here. Nobody in the audience knows. You and I don't know. You and I kind of know what the library of models look like, but we don't know who's going to get what, and we don't know what order they're going to come in. And the only way that we can resolve this ambiguity, the only way we can resolve this challenge is to turn to the Wheel of Fate. So we can see here that everybody in the chat is trying to guess what the challenge is going to be. And while they're doing that, I just want to say thank you to our sponsor for the Wheel of Fate, Plasticity. And last week we got to see Plasticity in action. We had a runner, M, who was actually competing using Plasticity. So it was really cool to see it kind of trying to solve these more real world type shapes. But Plasticity provides advanced and Class A surfacing to sculpt beautiful production ready geometry. It's also got fantastic interoperability and direct editing capabilities so that you can do your modifications in Plasticity and then export it directly into your existing CAD workflow. So it's not like you have to, learn Plasticity and then abandon your old CAD system. You can use it as a tool to augment your existing capabilities. And Plasticity offers no subscriptions, so you own the tools, no strings attached. And if you want to learn more about Plasticity, you can visit them at plasticity.xyz. And Plasticity has been our sponsor for the Wheel of Fate during the last tournament, and they're sponsoring again this tournament. Pretty cool piece of software there. Guys, I'm going to give this a couple more shuffles. Shuffle, 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 and spin. What does the Wheel of Fate have in store for our runners for this very first battle? Let's find out. So it looks like, all right, looks like it's going to be drawing number 9. I think this is a perfect way to get things started here. So
do it.
It looks like both of our runners are ready. I'm ready. You're ready. Guys, good luck to both of our runners. This very first CAD vs. CAD battle of the day between Atse from North Macedonia running SolidWorks going up against Gray from Russia running SolidWorks. This CAD vs. CAD battle begins in 3, 2, 1, go! What is the mass of this part in XXXX grams? The tolerance is plus or minus 2 grams. This part is a low poly tree, And we can see that this part is made from American cherry with a density of 570 kilograms per cubic meter. Both of our runners have already grabbed a screenshot. Let's jump over and take a look at this CAD versus CAD battle. We've got Atse on the left running SolidWorks. We've got Gray on the right running SolidWorks. We could see here that from this, we've got Atse on the left. Where is Atse? His screen stopped showing. We've got, this is Ricardo Jean's screen on the left here. So we're having a little bit of a technical difficulty here. We got Atse, his screen is not showing. Atse, if you can just take a moment and show your screen again. I don't know what happened to it during the tech check, but if you have a moment to take it and show your screen, otherwise we're gonna be watching Ricardo Jean here on the left. Interesting. We lost Atse there from the screen share. We're gonna see if we can get him back in here. He may have ended up out of the, yeah, it's a tag team match. This is actually Ricardo Jean here on the left. It's a little bit of a tag team match. That's all right. We can get a little preview of what we're going to see here from Ricardo Jean, and we can focus on what Gray is doing.
Wow. So, and now we have another commentator just to join me for a second here.
All right.
my daughter, Piper.
Nice. From the picture?
Yep.
Right.
She's all grown up now.
Nice. What's up, Piper? Welcome. Thanks for joining us on the live stream. This is pretty cool. What do you think these guys are modeling? What does that look like to you?
What does it look like to you? What does it look like to you?
Christmassy.
That's right. That's exactly right. Very
Exactly.
nice. All right, and we got Atse back. Thank you, Atse. We got Atse back on here. We got Atse on the left running SolidWorks. We got Gray on the right running SolidWorks. Here we go. And so it looks like both of our runners have decided to start out by, both of our runners started a little different from what we saw Ricardo Jean doing. Ricardo Jean looked like he started out with that kind of cone shape at the bottom. We see that on the other hand, we've got Atse starting out with that octagonal shape, and we've got Gray starting out with that octagonal shape. So very interesting here from our runners. And of course, shout out to Ricardo Jean stepping in and showing us a little bit of action there. Interesting to see that Atse has decided to create this octagonal shape using just the lower portion of it. Very, very interesting. And Mehtab in the chat, former tournament winner, competed last week. He says he likes what he's seeing from Atse as well. I like Mehtab coming in and lighting up the chat. D. Vicky Chong saying, need to be clear, Gray wins. Need to clear Gray's wins. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Got it. Wow, I'm liking what I'm seeing from both these guys. Oh, Gray trying to do a loft there and ending up with the... Okay, there we go. Got that cleaned up a little bit. Interesting. An interesting drawing as well. If you go back and look at the drawing, what you'll see in that drawing is that we've got the definition of the transition at a set angle for each one. Oh, look at Atse on the left there coming up through and getting that loft to a point. He was able to create a loft to a point. Very, very interesting there. So Atse, man, I looked away just for a second and I looked back and Atse had all three of those created. I think what he did was he extruded those octagons using draft, extruded those octagons with draft and to accomplish that extrusion up with that 30 degrees. So wow. All right, and there we see that he created that final feature at the bottom. I think we might end up seeing an answer coming in here soon. I'm gonna watch the chat. But wow, a sub 5-minute answer here on this first one. Atse comes in with answer 1,547 grams. That is not correct. That is not correct. So Atse answering 1,547 grams, and that is not correct within tolerance. And so Atse is going to have to re-examine his model, maybe look at the drawing again. Of course, we've got the 2D drawing here on screen, and we can maybe take a look here a little bit, and maybe we can see if we can't see what went wrong. But it's a really interesting design here with this drawing, because in this drawing you can see, or you can sort of see, that the octagons are defined with draft for the first one, draft with the second one, and then what appears to be a loft for the third one. So it's going to be really interesting to see how our runners handle this. And of course, nothing is as easy as it seems. There's always a lot more going on with these drawings, with these prints, to make things a little bit more of a gotcha, a little bit more difficult for our runners. So, wow.
The thing that I've always found very challenging about trying to use the angle or the draft feature within, the extrusion property manager of SolidWorks is just that it's kind of confusing. You're not really understanding. It's not very clear how they what the reference of that for that angle is, right? So that's challenging right there, trying to use that feature within the context of the extrusion.
Exactly.
So that's yeah,
exactly. Is it drafting on one side? Is it drafting on both sides? That's something that you have to be really careful of. And so we're taking a look here. We're watching Atse. He's got a mass up on the screen, but I haven't seen anything come through in the chat. Okay, here we go. Atse comes in with an answer 1441.98 or 1442, and that is correct. And wow. I saw in the chat somebody said these guys are geniuses. Wow, guys. Well done.
Insanely fast.
Taking down that first win. Wow.
I think maybe though. I think honestly it might have to be a requirement that he has to color the model as shown in your thumbnail before he can give the math.
Color the model with those low poly colors. Yeah. Wow, GG to Atse. We see the chat lighting up with GGs there for Atse. He earns the 1 point. It's like you said, Chris, he came off the bench cold, but he's getting in here and showing us kind of how it's done. And wow, super impressive from Atse there. Super impressive from Gray as well. A tricky model, tricky because of the way that some of those dimensions are defined and kind of like recognizing what's going on with that geometry. Like I said, when it comes to a model like this, you've got